Yo, what's up guys? It's been a long time since we done a Genshin guide video. So today we'll be covering for Yanfei, which is a Pyro Catalyst 4-star character. She's a bootleg Klee, I would say. Okay, so we will get into her stats later. So let's go into the game and see how she works with her skills itself. And here we have Yanfei. So her voice in Japanese is actually quite cool, but we're not talking about that. So let's go into her character skills itself. Talents. Her normal attack, Seal of Approval. She shoots fireballs that deal up to 3 counts of pyro damage. When Yanfei's normal attack hits an enemy, they will grant her a single Scarlet Seal. So she may possess 3 Scarlet Seals, and each time the effect is triggered, the duration of the Scarlet Seals will refresh, and each Scarlet Seal will decrease Yanfei's stamina consumption and will disappear when she leaves the field. Her charge attack will consume stamina and all Scarlet Seals before dealing AoE pyro damage. This charge attack, AoE and damage will increase according to the amount of Scarlet Seals consumed. Okay, so this is how her... Later we'll show you how a showcase how you can combo with it, but if you want to see, it's basically this 1, 2, 3, and that's the charge attack. So this is the charge attack. So it consumes quite a lot of stamina actually. Alright, back to this. Sign Edict. So this is an elemental skill. Summons blistering flames that deal AoE pyro damage. Opens hit by the flame will grant Yanfei the maximum numbers of Scarlet Seals. So this is just, it's very simple, it's just a damage dealing elemental skill. Done deal triggers a spray of intense flames that rush at nearby opponents, dealing AoE pyro damage, granting Yanfei the maximum numbers of Scarlet Seals and applying Brilliance to her. So Brilliance has the following effect: grants Yanfei a Scarlet Seal at fixed intervals, increase the damage dealt by a charge attack. The effects of Brilliance will end if Yanfei leaves the field or falls in battle. Okay. Her Ascension 1 Proviso. When Yanfei consumes Scarlet Seals by using a charge attack, each Scarlet Seal will increase Yanfei's pyro damage by 5%. This effect lasts for 6 seconds. When a charge attack is used against during the effect's duration, it will dispel the previous effect. Blazing Eye. When Yanfei charge attack deals a crit hit to opponent, she will deal an additional instance of AoE pyro damage equal to 80% of her attack. This damage counts as charge attack damage. So meaning, this attack counts as charge attack damage, meaning that the done deal, which grants her additional damage for her charge attack, will also be applied towards her second proc. Yeah, and her passive talent will be display location of nearby resource unique to Li Yue on the minimap. So let's go and see in terms of how the skill will work. And now we are at here. So do note that Yanfei is level 60 and her weapons are quite subpar. So I don't really have a very good weapon on her because I'm not really a catalyst user. So the highest is level 50, which should be this book. Maybe I can use the Barbara's one. But I think crit rate will work better on her. But yeah, for this case, let's showcase how she works. So what happens is that... Okay, they dodged that. 1, 2, 3. So you can see these red colored things that are here are all her Scarlet Seals. So when you do a charge attack, you do a bigger one. So if you do a normal reward, it's just a small one. So if you do 1, 1, 2, and it's a bit bigger. So how the combo works would be 1, 2, 3, and drop E and chunk. So damage is actually quite well because I'm doing melt on him right now. So you charge attack again. Quite decent damage, I would say. I missed it. But actually she's quite stamina hungry. And boop. And she's down. So that's how she works. So I think I need to show you in terms of like charging the elemental skill. Okay, so just now I didn't manage to show you the elemental burst, but I finally charged up the elemental burst already. So let's see what happens right now. Beating a level 90 rune guard. So what I'm gonna do is like IQ. So if you see, I'm gonna use the stacks right now. So it's giving me occasionally Scarlet Seal, so that's good. No, so that's how her skill works. So she gives you occasional Scarlet Seals. I'm gonna die. 1, 2, 3, boom. So yeah, that's how Yanfei's elemental works. So it gives you additional damage for a charge attack. Okay, alright. We're back here at Honey Impact. So let's see how much percentage she does. So her attack talent, normal attack, at level 10, when she crown, max charge attack damage should be 259, which is quite decent. It feels like an elemental burst already. So stamina decreased about 15%. Signed Edict, which is elemental skill, at level 10 we're doing 300% damage at 9 seconds. It's only like 30% difference in damage. Like just now I showed you already how do we combo it, so we can do it like that. And done deal, which is an elemental burst. At level 10, it will deal 328% percentage damage. The Scarlet Seal grants about 1 second. That's the one that I showed that it just keep popping up even though I'm not attacking. So this is a done deal. Charge attack damage bonus gives you about 54% at level 10. So like what I said before, Ascension Talent 4, which is Blazing Eye, the 80% of the attack will actually gain the benefit from the done deal itself. Okay, so then Ascension, you have the Book of Gold, if I'm not wrong. Yep, Teachings of Gold, Treasure Hoarder, and Azdaha's Tail. The level up materials are the Primal Jewelry Shap, Nocturnal Jade, and also Treasure Hoarder seals. So yeah, Constellation. Let's get back to the game and we'll show you the Constellation itself. So now we are at the Constellation. So the first condition is called the Law Knows No Kindness. When Yanfei uses a charge attack, each existing Scarlet Seal additionally reduces stamina cost of its charge attack by 10% and increase resistance against interruption during its release. So when she has this duration of her using a charge attack, there's like this small duration where she's vulnerable. So meaning that she gets a reduction in interruption when she uses that, so she won't waste her damage itself. Okay. Right, or final interpretation. Increase Yanfei's charge attack crit rate by 20% against enemies below 50% health. So as enemies are less than 50%, her charge attack will deal additional critical rate. So it's free critical rate, you know. Increase level of Sign Edict, so nothing much. Elemental skill plus 3 levels. Supreme Amnesty. When done deal is used, create a shield that absorbs up to 45% of Yanfei's max HP for 15 seconds. This shield absorbs pyro damage 450% more effectively. So it's a pyro shield that absorbs pyro damage better. So this is actually quite a good Constellation because like she's quite vulnerable to a lot of damages in the game because like she is a catalyst user and she's quite weak when she gets bounced around. So yeah, and also her stamina consumption is pretty high, so it's very hard for her to dodge. So having a shield would be great. Abiding Affidavit, done deal by 3, nothing much. And the last Constellation extra clause, increase the maximum number of Scarlet Seals by 1. So basically she will have 4 Scarlet Seals. So how this will be beneficial is that the charge attack damage should be higher based on how much the Scarlet Seals are. Like the 200, like level 10, 4 seals are 272. So 3 seals are 244. And Scarlet Seal stamina consumption decreased by 15% per seal. So if you take 4 multiplied by 15, about 60%, you know, 60% reduction in stamina cost. So meaning that she will be able to spam her, you know, charge attack much more frequently. So yeah, that is Yanfei. Okay, now we are moving forward with our artifact sets that I will recommend for Yanfei. So the best set that I currently would recommend would be Wondrous Troop right now. I'll explain why it's better than Crimson Witch of Flames. So set bonuses. 2-piece gives you elemental mastery by 80, but what you want to aim for with the 4-piece bonus itself. Increase charge attack damage by 35% if the character uses a catalyst or a bow. So she's a catalyst user, she benefits from her charge attack. So meaning that her charge attack will deal a shit ton of damage. Alright. So what you're looking for would be attack percentage, critical rate, and critical damage. Depending on what kind of weapons they're gonna use. So, but I would recommend you to have a crit damage circlet. You have a pyro damage cup. Pyro damage cup here. You want a pyro damage cup. Circlet will have critical damage. Sands will be attack. Plume will be definitely attack ready. And also, HP will be for flower of life. So that's not much to say. Okay. So the second set I would recommend would be Lava Walker. So you want to get a 4-piece set itself. So 2-piece set gives you pyro resistance increased by 40%. That's good defense. 4-piece bonus will be increased damage against opponents affected by pyro by 35%. So same thing, circlet, you go for critical damage. You try to get critical damage where you can if you have enough critical rate already. Goblet, you will go for definitely pyro damage itself. Sands will be attack percentage. Plume and flower, there's not much to say. Okay. So the last one I would recommend would be the cheaper one. I guess would be cheaper, would be Crimson Witch of Flames. So what you want to aim for, you can go 4-piece, but I wouldn't recommend to go for 4-piece because she doesn't fully utilize the 4-piece bonus because it increased overload and burning damage by 40%, increased vaporize and melt damage by 15. Using elemental skill, increase a 2-piece set bonus by 50% of its starting value for 10 seconds. Max 3 stacks. So it's very hard for her to reach 3 stacks because like her elemental skill takes about 9 seconds to to cool down. So if we go back here, if I show you, it takes about 9 seconds. Yep, it takes about 9 seconds. So meaning that if you missed it, you won't be able to get the stacks ready. So it's not really useful for her to have like 4 pieces itself. I mean, she gets benefit from the pyro damage itself, but I would say Wondrous Troop will still be better because it's much more consistent, whereas compared to 4-piece bonus itself. So 4-piece I won't recommend, but anyway, still same thing, critical damage, critical rate. Add critical damage when you need. If you need critical rate, add critical rate, because she needs critical rate to utilize her Ascension 4, which is the one where she deals her charge attack deals a crit hit. The AoE power damage will deal 80% of attack damage after the instance of charge attack that you deal. Goblet, you will go for Pyro, Sense, Attack as usual. Then you have Gladiator's Finale. So you won't want to go for a 4-piece Gladiator's Finale. You want to try to get 2-piece Gladiator and also 2-piece Crimson Witch also. Cost 15% pyro damage extra bonus and also attack percentage bonus itself. So this is like it's like the worst option. I would still recommend the Wondrous Troop will be the best. Same thing, critical rate needed. If you need critical rate, you get critical rate. If you need critical damage, you get critical damage. Goblet will get elemental damage bonus. Sense will be attack, and all of them are the same thing. So these are the artifacts that I would recommend for Yanfei. Currently, if you're curious on what I'm using right now, I'm using a 4-piece Crimson Witch of Flame because I didn't really have the time to play Genshin quite a while. So I'm just using whatever artifacts that I have right now to just put on her to at least show a bit of a damage for me, for a damage test and see. So yeah, I'm using 4-piece if you're looking at, but the best would be Wondrous Troop, but I don't really use Catalyst and also Bow. That's why I wasn't really farming for Wondrous Troop itself. So yeah, this is my take on artifacts itself. Okay, so now we are finally going to be able to see some of the team comps that would suggest. Stop it, Zhongli. I don't want you to listen to you. Okay, so my recommendation for the team comp would be my best recommendation would be for Yanfei as a main damage dealer, Bandit, Zhongli, and Xingqiu. So why? So it's because if we use Yanfei, one of the problems that she will face is survivability, because that her attack animation is actually very long-winded. Like your charge attack has like this like about 1 second delay. So this whole delay here, she's very vulnerable. So meaning that her life will get lower. So Bandit comes into play very well because it heals up Yanfei. At the same time, also gives her a damage boost based on Bandit's talent. Zhongli will be just an added benefit bonus for you to get a shield, so when Yanfei is attacking, she won't get interrupted so easily because she has a thick shield, so she won't die that fast. And also at the same time, Zhongli's shield actually grants also resistance reduction in terms of pyro, but normally they won't get to close range, but if it comes to close range, then you can burst them down easily because there's a reduction in elemental resistance. And Xingqiu is just a cherry on top on the team, because Xingqiu, his elemental burst Q, which is your Guhua Sword Rain Cutter. Every time character uses normal attack, it will shoot out water swords, and then deal hydro damage and also apply hydro on top of them. So meaning you can combo with Yanfei for you to deal vape combo consistently. At the same time, also if you time it perfectly, you will have a super big chunk of vape proc, because Yanfei's charge attack is a beast, I would say. So this is my best comp that I have. So if you guys want to take note, I will just freeze it right here. Will be Yanfei, Bandit, Zhongli, and Xingqiu. So yeah, my second recommendation would be Yanfei, Xingqiu, Zhongli, and Albedo. It's never wrong to have double. It's never bad to have double Geo on the team because you get consistent shield. So in this case, you don't really need a healer already, you know. So Yanfei, Xingqiu, Zhongli, and Albedo would be one of the recommendations I say. So Xingqiu, at the same time, like what I said, you can use your elemental burst and you go ham town with Yanfei. Zhongli and Albedo is just for additional support in terms of like Geo damage on the field. And you generate also Geo particles, so that you generate Geo crystals so that you get a shield for your Yanfei. So this gives a lot more survivability to Albedo. It gives more survivability towards Yanfei. Yeah. So this is one recommendation. And also same time, if you didn't know, you can check the elemental resonance right here. Geo gives you increased strength by 15%, you know, propagated by a shield will have increased damage dealt by 15%, and the damage only decrease the Geo resistance by 20% for 15 seconds. So it actually kind of pairs well with these two. So this will be sub DPS, while this is the main damage dealer. So you just proc Zhongli down the field, you put a totem down, Albedo you just put the flower down, and then you just go ham in Yanfei and Xingqiu. So yeah, this is my recommendation for how to say, my second team comp. And the last recommendation I would give would be Yanfei, Xingqiu, Venti, and Diona. So I feel this is for Abyss, you know, in terms of the floors that have a lot of people. So why? So that Venti, you use Elemental Burst, then use Diona and his Elemental Burst, so it deals Cryo, and then you use how to say, Xingqiu's Elemental Burst, so that you freeze, and also at the same time also freeze, and also at the same time when you proc Yanfei out and you do damage with that, you know, you'll be able to deal melt proc. So like melt, if you didn't know, works like if you have cryo already and you apply pyro, you will deal 2 times the damage. You will do double the damage. But if you have pyro on top and then you deal cryo on pyro, it will do 1.5 times damage. Same goes for vaporize. So if you have pyro and you do you do hydro on top of pyro, you will have 2 times the damage. And if you have hydro already and you deal pyro on top, you will deal 1.5 times the damage. So melt comp and vaporize comp is very good for pyro users itself. So if you want to go for a more expensive build, I would say you can put in a Ganyu right here if you want to. But I would recommend a Diona because a Diona can provide healing to the team. But Ganyu is a bit more damage focused because she's able to use her elemental burst all the time because there's no cooldown on it. So if you get her elemental recharge to be very high, she can always be using her Q. At the same time also, Venti has very good energy recharge. So what happens is that he can always constantly have his elemental burst on uptime itself. Okay, yeah. Oh, just to note to you guys, like I forgot to tell you guys, for Team Comp 1, you can actually replace Team Comp 1 and Team Comp 2 that has Zhongli. You can always replace Zhongli with Noel because I know that if you're going free to play, if you're going for free to play perspective, it will be better to have a 4-star character. So in my opinion, it will be Yanfei, Bennett, Noel, and Xingqiu for free to play. Noel has a very good shield. Maybe doesn't provide a lot of like benefits as Zhongli, but she does the work very well. Like Zhongli, Noel's shield is pretty tanky if you build her correctly, so Yanfei can get very huge survivability from that. So this is just my recommendations for my team comp. Hope you guys are alright with it. And now we're moving on. Okay, now we're moving to the next one will be the weapons. So you might be wondering what weapons would be the best for our dearest Yanfei, you know, our new waifu. Justice is flat. Flat is justice, sorry guys. So like what I recommend would be to use any 5-star catalyst that you have already, because 5-star catalysts always have higher base damage than the rest. But if you have all the 5-star how to say catalysts already, I would recommend you to use Lost Prayers of the Sacred Wind. This is by far the best catalyst for Yanfei. Reason being is that because Yanfei needs a lot of crit rate and also crit damage for her to be dealing a lot of damage, so critical rate is always good. At the same time, it gives movement speed for her, so she can dodge skills much easier. At the same time, when in battle, she earns about like 6% elemental damage bonus for every 4 seconds, so she gets about 24% extra elemental damage bonus, which is very huge for a elemental dealing character on the field. So Lost Prayer to the Secret Wind will be the BIS, maybe it's the best in slot. Okay, you can always go Skyward Atlas, no issue. 5-star catalyst is better, higher base damage, and Memory of Dust. So if you have like a shield team, be using Noel and also Albedo, then it will be better to get Memory of Dust. Okay. The next one I would recommend would be the Witsith and also Solar Pearl. So these two will be my recommendation. Solar Pearl will be from the BP. I would recommend you guys to get the BP because the weapons there are actually quite good. Are worth fighting for. So my favorite one would be Solar Pearl because it gives critical rate. Like what I said, critical rate is always good on Yanfei. So normal attack hits increase elemental skill, elemental burst damage by 20 to 40% for 6 seconds. So normal attack her normal attack gives elemental skill elemental burst extra damage, and also likewise elemental skill elemental burst also gives like normal attack damage for that. So which is very good for Yanfei because like she rotates between elemental skill, elemental burst, and also normal attack quite frequently. She's not the kind of character that always relies on the elemental skill and elemental burst. She's a hybrid where she does normal attack damage at the same time also gives elemental skill to deal damage at the same time. Okay, and my next one will be the Wit Sieve. A cost of critical damage. It's always good to have critical damage as a stat, but if you were to get critical damage as your weapon already, you need a crit rate circlet, meaning unless your artifacts have already enough for critical rate, if it's sufficient already, then you don't need to get a crit rate circlet. But if not, most of the time I will always put a crit rate circlet on the Wit Sieve if you're using the Wit Sieve. And I won't recommend the Wit Sieve that well is because it's very how I say it's quite a gamble, because like you need to switch out the characters off the field. I mean, like it's good that you can switch it off, but then for you to land one of the ones that deal a lot of damage, you know, it's a bit hard for you to predict which should be coming out, you know. So but I would say that these three of them also works well in terms of like your switching characters, because you need those characters out to provide defensive properties or a bit of offensive properties towards Yanfei. So no matter what you switch out, you will always, like, you know, how to say, get a buff. But the problem is that it only occurs every 30 seconds, so which is a bit down. It's a downside. So I won't recommend the Wit Sieve, but because it's a gacha weapon and maybe some of you guys have in stock, you can always use this. So another one I would think that would be quite good for 4-star would be Royal Grimoire. It means attack percentage, but at least it gives you a bit of critical rate, which is not bad. If you have Royal Grimoire, you can always go for that, you know. The next one will be Eye of Perception. So normal and charged attacks have a 50% chance to fire a bolt of perception. This is attack percentage, and also the base stat is actually quite low, so not that well. I mean, this is if you have it, then you use it. You know, if you don't have the others, then you probably would use the Eye of Perception. So normal and charged attack have a 50% chance to fire a bolt of perception, which is occurring about 12, 10, 11, 10, 9, 8 seconds itself. So it's not very consistent. And the last one I would recommend will be the Blackcliff Amulet will always be better in the Eye of Perception. So Blackcliff Amulet provides you critical damage, which is always good. Normally you don't really look at the passive itself for Blackcliff Amulet, because if you're going for like bossing itself, you normally not defeating enemies there, so you don't really benefit from here. But it's always good to have critical damage itself. And if you don't have a 4-star, you can always go for critical rate, which is Twin Knife Right. Defeating enemy increase movement speed and attack by, you know, how many seconds. You don't really benefit from that, but you get critical rate, which is something that you need. Okay, so if I were to categorize, the best in stock will be Lost Prayer to the Sacred Wind is number 1. Number 2, my favorite will be Solar Pearl. Number 3, I will put Blackcliff Amulet. Number 4 would be the Wit Sieve. Number 5 would be number 4 would be Royal Grimoire. Number 5 would be Wit Sieve. And lastly, I will go for Eye of Perception and also Twin Knife Right. This is my recommendation for weapons. Okay, so now we are at the end of the video. I'm afraid I'm not able to show you in terms of how the Blazing Eye actually works, but I can show you a clip later in terms of how the Blazing Eye works. It's just a small clip that you guys can refer to. I don't really have a lot of resources for me to go ahead. It's because I've been busy for the past month itself. And I would like to thank all the subscribers who have subscribed to my channel, you know, and providing me support and watching my videos. I hope you guys enjoy. I will be coming out with something for Eula soon, once I finalize in terms of what her damage is, at the same time also what will be the best weapon. She seems to be a character who is hybrid, you know. Okay, so this is about the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys are doing okay, staying safe from COVID, you know. Thank you for so much of your support. Thank you. If you have any comments in terms of how you want to build a team, you know, how you want my recommendation, you can just put your comments below the video and let me know like the details that you have for your characters, like who you want to play, at the same time also what do you have. Maybe I'll ask you more if you don't really have an idea, but I'm more than willing to help you in terms of building a team. Alright, so yep, thank you so much and see you again.